Hello, welcome to another episode in the video series of Making Simple GIS Project. In this video episode, we are going to prepare what is known as the map of a study area or the map of area of interest. So if I go to Google and search for the map of study area, and then you will see that we have a lot of templates that other people have made and they are there online. So usually when you're writing a report, either a project report or thesis or whatever report, or even if it's a proposal, you will need to include what is known as the map of the study area, usually in the introductory part of the report. So depending on where your location is, where your project or your thesis study area is, it's a good idea for you to show your reader that this is where it is on a detailed map, as you can see from the samples here on the screen. So usually what people usually do is they'll come to Google like this, make a search, and then copy it and then use it in their report. So this is a very wrong idea. It is very wrong of you to just come to the internet, copy someone's map, and then use it in your own project or your own report. That is what we call academic theft. That is a plagiarism. So if you just copy a map like this and then use it in your project, you have plagiarized the work. As someone who is studying a map making or map related discipline, you should be able to create your own maps from scratch, and that is what I'm going to show you in this. So assuming the study area we're interested in is a particular local government in let's say Niger State. So I can just search for maybe study area, map of study area Niger State. And then you can see that we have already seen what others have done. So we are not going to just copy what someone has done, but instead we are going to make our own. And I think something like this will be a good fit for our own research report. So look at what this person has done here. He has the map of Nigeria showing the location of Niger State, and then the map of Niger State, then the map of the study area. So the map of the country and then the state are inset maps, while the study area is the main map, which is shown somewhere here. So we are going to replicate something close to this. So in our own case, we are going to use Niger State, and then I will assume that the local government is Bida, the Bida local government. So we will show the map of Nigeria, then show the map of Niger State showing Bida. Then we'll now have the main map of Bida local government at this location. So all the data set I'm going to use are what you can get from your local authority, depending on where your study area is. So like in my own case, all the data set I'm going to use are gotten from places like the GADM website, the free spatial data on the Diva GIS, Natural Art, and then the OpenStreet map. So all the data set I'm going to use are gotten from this website. They can be obtained from this website for free. Or better still, you can go to the GIS department in your local environment, either the ministry or wherever you can find maps within your study area, then get copy of maps of those area and then produce them to make your study area map. So here I'm going to download the data set from here. I will just search for Mina, or I can just zoom to the location. This is Niger State. And then I'm going to log in into my account and then download the dataset. So the administrative boundaries, I'm going to download them from here or from here. You can also get a copy from here. So I will do the download behind the scene and then I will return after the download. So here I have downloaded these layers, and as you can see, I have a very huge dataset loaded in my QGIS environment. So here we have the roads, we have the water body, we have the water freeways, the state administrative boundary, the state local governments, and then we have the wards. So all this layer, I'm going to make them available. If you don't mind paying me a token to get a copy of this dataset, I'm going to make them available in the link on your screen. So just go to the link on your screen or in the description of the video and then download the copy for a token. So having said that, let's proceed to extract the dataset. So the workflow for this video, just before I continue, let me remind you about the workflow. The workflow is for us to get the dataset from several sources. So you source for the dataset you want to use to make your study area map. Then you clean it by filtering it and then removing unwanted part of the dataset. Then the next, you do some cartographic styling on the data, on the layers, and then you can now export your final map to an image or a PDF file to be used within your report writing. So let's continue. We have already sourced for the dataset, and I have shown you where I got them from. And the next thing, I'm going to filter out the dataset based on the location I'm working on. So let's start by working on the states. So I'm going to uncheck the other layers and then I'll just work on the state boundary in this case. So here I'm interested in Niger State. So I will just select Niger State from the attribute table. So I right click and open the attribute table on this layer and then selected it. So I can select it and then you can see that Niger State is highlighted. So I can easily export the boundary to a new shapefile, or I can filter it out to hide the other parts of the other states that I'm not interested in. But I think it would be a good idea if I just export this as a different layer so that at least I'll have that freedom to manipulate it the way I want. Yeah, so what I would do, I think, no, what I will do first is I'm going to create a folder, then save this inside that folder. So I'll just do that right away. I'll right click, then export. Then I'm going to export only the selected feature. I will export it as a shape file. Then choose a location. So the location is going to be inside this folder on my desktop called study map of study area. So I have a shapefile folder here. I'm going to save it inside this shapefile folder. So I'll just name it Niger State. So that is the state administrative boundary. So I will select it and then save all the selected feature, yes. Then add the selected feature to map. Click on OK. So yes, our layer is there. Then the Nigerian, yes, I think I'm going to leave it the way it is. I'll clear the selection at this point. I will uncheck this. So the next thing I need to do is to select the local government. So I'll open the attribute table of the Nigerian local governments, and then here I have all the local governments of all the states in Nigeria. So what I need to do is to select all the local governments that are in Niger State. So I'm going to use this attribute select feature using expression. I'm going to use this attribute query. So I'll write the query like this: state, select the column state name equal to Niger. Then if I run the query, you can see I have 25 items selected. So all the 25 items are the local governments within the Niger State. So here they are. So at this point, I can close the attribute table. Then I can export the selected local government. So export, right click, export, save selected features. So I will go to the folder, and then here I will just save it as Niger Local Government Area, LGA for short. So I'm saving it as a shapefile, and then I'm using the world WGS84 as the coordinate system. So click on OK to add it to the map. So I've successfully exported the state administrative boundary, and then now I have the state local government. So I can clear selection. Then the next filtering I need to do is on the words. So I'll just right click and then repeat the same process. So here I'm going to query the attribute table by the state name column, and then I will set it to Niger State. So Niger State, and then select. So here I have 263 features selected. So these 263 features are all the words in Niger State, and as you can see them, they are selected here. So I'll close, then export selected features. I'll save it to the same location. So instead of state here, I'll call it words. Then I'll add it to the map, of course. So here I have my third layer that I just exported. So this, at least we now have 3 layers for Niger State. Then the next things I need to do is to extract the roads. So I'm interested in showing the roads in Niger State too on my study area map. So here I will extract just the roads that falls within Niger State, and then I will remove the other routes that are falling within other states. So what I need to do is I need to do something called select by location. So this is Niger State. Let me make it hollow so that you can see the interior. So I'm going to set it to no brush. Yeah, I think I need to make the border a little bit thicker. So make the border a little bit thicker, and then so here is the Niger State boundary. So all the roads that falls within the state boundary are what I'm interested in. I'm not interested in other roads that falls outside the state, because this is the entire roads in Nigeria. So I only need the one that are within the Niger State boundary. So I'll do what is known as select by location. So and I can get that tool under the vectors menu. Then under research tools, I have select by location. So click on select by location. As you can see, this algorithm creates a selection in a vector layer. The criteria for selecting feature is based on the spatial relationship between the features, between the feature and the features in an additional layer. So the layer select feature from, the layer I'm going to select feature from is this one, the one I got from OpenStreetMap. And then I'm interested in where the feature intersects the state, the Niger state boundary. So I'm going to select Niger state here. Then I'm going to create a new selection. So remember that I check intersect. You can also try some of these intersect, that is these roads that intersect or are within. I think it should be within. So you can try any of them, the one that works for you. So features that are within. So these are the roads, they are within this polygon, this boundary. Do the work for us, they should do the job for us. So I will select it and try it. So run. So this will take a while to complete. So it has finished successfully. So all the roads layers, all the roads within the road layer that are within Niger State are now selected. So I can now close this window. And then the next thing I need to do is to export the selected road features. So I will just right click and then say export selected features. I'm going to save it in the same location. So I will just call it Niger roads. Save and then click on OK. So this is going to export all the selected routes within the state boundary. So this is complete. You can now uncheck other routes. So you can see we have drastically reduced the number of routes we are going to work with. So later on, I will still clean up some of these routes, but let me finish up the extraction of other layers. So here too, I think what I will need to export this river, these water bodies. So I'm going to do the same thing, but in this case, if I try to use the select by location tool, I think I'm going to, let me see. Yes, I think we can still make use of it. So select the layer you want to select feature from. Then I intersect, yes, because of these ones that cross the boundary. So we want those ones that cross the boundary to be also to be selected. So intersection, touches are within, yes, contain, crosses too, because some of the features, some of the water bodies will cross the boundary, like what we have here. So these are crossing the boundary. So we need to have all of them selected. So that's why I'm selecting this. So and then the layer I'm going to use for the comparison is the Niger state boundary. So all the water body layer that intersect, contain, touches, or are within or crosses the Niger state boundary, we want to select them. So after that, I need to click on run to run the algorithm, and then I can close. So if I check now, you see that yes, I have all the water bodies selected as I wanted. So this is perfect. So all these ones that are within are selected. The one that crosses and touches the state boundary are also selected. So I will now save it to a new layer. So I'll right click on the layer, then go to save selected features as a shape file. And this, I'm going to call it Niger State water bodies. I'll click on save, then click on OK. Then the next are the waterways. Team waterways too, they are equally important. So let's do that. So with all the layers of interest extracted, I think we can remove the other layers that are not important to us. So for example, like this one, I need to remove it. Then This one too has the railways. I will remove it. Then the roads too, I will remove it. Then which other one? Yeah, this one too, waterways, I'll remove it. Then the state administrative boundary, I think I will leave this because I will need it to at least show the surrounding states within around Niger State. Then the local government boundaries, I don't need it, we'll remove it. Then the wards boundary too, we'll remove it. So I think basically we have what we needed to prepare the study area map. So what I would do now is to arrange the layers. So usually in the GIS environment, the way to arrange your data layers is by having the points. If you have a point layer, they should be on top, then followed by lines, then followed by polygon layers. So that's the only way you will see all the details on your map. So now we need to move on to the next step, which is the cartographic styling. So we need to make use of our cartographic skills to style this map in a way that to look presentable, just like what we saw on the just like what we saw when we make the Google search of the study area maps. So to do that, we need to create a map layout and then do the styling here, then go to the map layout and add other map elements. So before I create the map layout, I'm going to do the styling of some of these layers, then go to the map layout and then finish off the styling of the study area map. So first of all, what I need to do, let me start with the roads or the lines. So the first line here is the roads. If I zoom to the road layer, you can see that we have a lot of roads. So I think I will not be interested in showing all of these roads. So let me open up the attribute table. I think I can off this to make it easier for me to see what is going on. So these roads, I don't think it's a good idea for us to show all the roads. So let me select at least the major ones and see what their attributes are. So I'm going to open up the attribute table and then check the content and then see how we can filter it out. So let me filter the one I selected. So the one I selected, the feature class is trunk. And then we have other details. One way be reference, we have the code and so on. So what I will do, let me use the trunk to filter out the feature class and let's see what we are left with. So right click on the layer and then go to filter. So filter, I'm going to filter out this column and then based on, let me just say all, based on this value called trunk. Let me use trunk. After trunk, if trunk doesn't work, then I think you can test with another one. Let me zoom to the state boundary. Okay, these are only the trunk routes. I think if I use, what about if I use tertiary? Let me remove the filter. Let me change it to tertiary. So tertiary routes. Yes, remove the extra quotes. Click on OK. Yeah, I think tertiary routes are good, but we can still combine them, tertiary and then trunk. So I can change the expression to something like this. In so tertiary is trunk. I hope the spelling is correct. So let me see test. Yeah. So tertiary roads and then the trunk roads are what we have here. If I check the attribute table, I can see that we only have trunk roads and then we have tertiary roads. So I just reduce the number of roads by filtering only the tertiary and then the trunk roads, which I think they are okay. But you can feel free to use whatever road details you want to use. So that is that. Then I need to style it. So in styling it, I think let's see. I think there are some default styles here for roads. Yeah. So this is one. The name is Topo Road. Yeah. So let me apply it. And then if I wish to categorize it, I can categorize it based on the feature class. So we have just two. And then we have the tertiary roads and then the trunk roads. Apply, click on OK. So this is the styling for the roads. If I'm not satisfied with that, I can go back and then play around with the symbology, play around with the sizes and then the colors. But I'm not going to waste much time on that so that the video doesn't get long unnecessarily. So that is that. Then the next layer we need to work on is the railway. So this is the rail line. So all I need to do is to style it. I think there is a default rail symbol here. So I will just select it and make use of it. So click on OK. So this is my railroad. Then the next thing I need to work on is the water. Yes, the waterways. Yes, I need to change the color, or I can just select a default symbol here. So this blue should work best for color for waterways. Yes, if the thickness is too big, I can go back and reduce it. So I think even the waterways, I need to reduce some of the water because the data is getting is getting clumsy with a lot of information. So the F class, the feature class, we have canal, we have rivers, and then we have streams. So I think I can filter the data based on just rivers. I will just leave rivers and then remove other waterways. So I will right click on the layer, then go to filter. So from the filter, I will filter the F class to equal to just rivers. So I will filter it and then it will remove. Okay, just the rivers. Okay, we have a lot of rivers. Okay, let me try the filter on just streams. Filter the roads, F class roads. Let me just type it as stream. What about the other ones? I think canal and then drain. So let me just try it and see. So go back to filter. Where is filter? Yes. Then we have a canal test. We have just very few canals, so canal is not something to worry about. Then we have drain. We always have just few drain. So I think we'll have to leave it on river. Then probably we'll have to delete some of these ones. So what I will do, toggle the edit mode on the layer. Then I'm going to select some of these ones that are not very good. Okay, or let me just leave them. Let me just leave them at least, since they are all reverse, and let me just leave the data the way it is. So off the toggle edit off, and then leave it as it is. So maybe later on, if it's obscuring a lot of details, I'm going to uh, reduce this size here. Maybe take it to something like 4. Let's see what we have. I think this is better. But later on, if you find out that these rivers are a little bit much, I'm going to reduce some of them, and then so that we'll have a cleaner map. Because a study area map doesn't have to show much details. It should just show the summary of the location of where you are working, or where your research work is, or where your project location is. Then the next layer we need to work on is the state boundary. So this is the state administrative boundary. I think the only thing I will do here is to increase the symbology. I'm going to increase the width to maybe 1.2. Click on apply. Let's see the way it is. Then I'm going to change the color, the outline color, to red. Yeah, I'm going to change it to maybe this kind of red color, reddish color. Click on apply. Yes, I think we are good to go. Click on OK. Then the next layer is the local government boundaries. I think another thing I need to do for the state, I think I need to show the name. Do I really need to show the name for the state boundary? No, I don't. We already know that it's Niger State, so the ones we need to show the names are the local governments. So on the local government layer, I'll go to label and then single label, and then I'll use the LGA names as the label. So I'm going to draw a text buffer at the background so that there will be this white background for all the local government names. And then even the placement, I think the placement should be at the center of the polygons. Yeah, so this is better. Then under the symbology, I'm going to remove the fill, and then I'm going to increase the outline radius to that value. I think that is, if that is much, we can still come back and edit it. But for now, I think we can leave it the way it is. Then the next layer we need to work on is the words. The words, I will not show the label, I will just remove the background and then click on OK, apply. So these are the words. Then water bodies too. Yes, water bodies. We need to move it up, and then let's see. Let's change the color of the water bodies. So blue outline. No. Yes, I think blue outline. Then this blue fill. No. Let's look for something that looks closer to water. Yeah. Let me change the color of the fill. I think this kind of color should work better for water bodies here. So I think this blue is okay for this lake and rivers. So this is the river Niger. Yeah, I think this should be the river Niger that went through. Yeah. So that is that. Then the next one we need to work on is the Nigerian administrative boundary. This one too, I need to make it, remove the fill, and then the thickness of the border line. I'll just increase it to that figure. So this is it. So with this, at least we are ready to produce the study area map. So we are ready to move on to create the map layout. So I'll go to the project menu, then select new map layout. I'll just give it a name, just any name, maybe map 1. Then from the map layout window that opens up, I'm going to set this to a paper size that at least I'll have much space to work with. So I'm setting it to A3. So A3 paper size, and on landscape, I think landscape should work better. So zoom to extend. Can save this. Okay, let's save our project. Let's save our project first. So I'll just click on this or Control S to save the project. So after we save the project, then we need to create a map layout. Then here now we can now save our map layout. So if you didn't save the project, when you click on save the map layout, it will open up a new window for you to save the map layout. So here we are on the page properties, and then we set the size of the paper to A3, and it's on landscape mode. So what I want to have here is let's go back to the map we have on the Google search we made earlier on to have an idea of how we are going to lay out the map here. So here, if you recall, I think the map we want to replicate is will look something like this. So here on the left hand side, we're going to have 2 insert maps, and then the main map will be on the right hand side. So yeah, so here on the left hand side, we are going to have the map of Nigeria showing Niger State. Then at the bottom, we have map of Niger State showing the local government of interest, which is Bida in this case. Then on this, we will now have the map of Bida local government. So let's do that. So here I'm going to off some of these layers, and then leaving just the map of Nigeria. So I'll zoom it to extend, then go back to my map layout. So on the map layout, I'm going to add a new map. So I'll just use this button called add map. I can go here and then click on add map, add item, add map. So here, the first map we're going to add is the map of Nigeria. So I will select, drag, and then add the map. Then I'm going to increase the scale. So this is scale 13 million. So I'm going to just remove these figures and then replace them with 6 zeros. So this should enlarge the scale a little, enlarge the map a little. But I think we still need to increase the size of the scale. Maybe let's say 10 million. Yeah, I think this is better. Or even better, let's say 8. Yeah. Let's say 8, 5. Yeah, I think this is better. So the first thing we need to do is we need to show the highlight of Niger State here. So I'll go back to my main map and then enable the Niger State layer and save, then go back to the map and then refresh, map layout and refresh. So you can see this is the boundary of Niger State is showing in red. Then the next thing I need to do is, I think I need to enable the frame. So I'll just scroll. After selecting the map, I'll go to the border. I'll go to the frame. Yes, yeah, the frame is now enabled. Then Do I need anything else? The background doesn't matter here because it is white. What else? I don't need to insert the scale. I don't need to insert the north arrow, another map element, because this is just an inset map, not the main map. So that is that. Let me go back to the map layout. So this is the first map of Nigeria showing Niger State. Then the next we need to add the map of Niger State. Map of Niger State showing the local government of interest, that is Bida local government. So so before you do that, make sure you select this layer, lock it, then lock the layer, and then lock the layer styling. So with this, if you didn't do this, by the time you change the map preview, the map you added on the map layout will get updated. So click on save. Then let's go back now. So now let's zoom to Niger State. So here, this is Niger State. I think, do I need to show the roads? Do I need to show the rail line? Let me just show all of them and then see how it will look like on the map layout. So go back to the map layout, then add the second map. So go to add item, then add map. So I'll just click and then add the second inset map. So the next, I will need to work on the scale to make it more legible. So let me just change it to 4 million. Let's see how it look like. No, I think 4 million is too big. Yeah, 2 million is too large. 3 million. Yeah, 3 million is okay. But the map looks clumsy because of these details. So that's why I said earlier on that some of these details we may not even need them. So like these roads, let me remove the roads and then check the map layout, how it will look like. So I think this look better. Even the water, we may not really need the waterways because it's not making the map to look good. So we can remove it, then go back, refresh, and then I think this is better. We have at least the river, and then we have the rail line. Yeah, I think the rail line too, we can make it a little bit lighter by maybe decreasing the size of the width, maybe to 1. I click on apply. Like, you know, I think we edited the wrong. Let me make it 2. Let's see. No. So let me just take it to a simple line, and then set it to black. Let me just take it back. So this is 0.4. Okay. So 0.4. Let me take it to 0.2. Apply. Okay. And click on save. Then go back to the map layout and then refresh. Yeah, I think this is better. So I think what I need, do I really need to label the states? I think there's no need. So I think I'm okay with this. The only thing I will need to do is to enable the frame. So I can enable the frame. I can change the color of the frame, but I think what we have here is okay for our purpose. So then the next thing I need to do is to lock the layer. So the second map, lock the layer and then lock the layer styling, so that when we change the preview on the map canvas, it won't affect the map. So the next map we need to show is the LGA. Let me see. Let me see if there's need for us to show the LGA here. Yeah, I think there's need for us to show the LGA on this map. So I'm going to unlock it so that the LGA will show. Yeah, these are the LGA. So the LGA, do we need to show the names? No, I think let me remove the label. Set it to no. Yeah, save, then go back to the map canvas, refresh. Yeah, so we need to show the LGA. So not just showing the LGA, but we need to highlight the LGA. So I'm going to check the attribute table of the local government layer, and then our local government of interest is Bida. So this is it. So I have it selected. So if I go back to the map canvas, even if I refresh, it will not show. So I need to save it as a different layer and then style it. So I can go back here now, export selected feature, then save it to as usual. Here I'll just call it Bida LGA, then save my file and then add it to the map. So Bida LGA, I'll just change the symbology. I think even what we have here is okay. So I think I'll just maintain this style, default style. Then save, then go back to the map canvas and then refresh, map layout and then refresh. So as you can see, this is Bida. It is showing in a very tiny dot here, somewhere here. Let me change the color to something that will shout, that will pop out. Maybe something like yellow. Yeah, let me change it to this yellowish color. And then let's see the output. Yeah, is it okay? I think it's manageable. Let me take it to red. Let me change it to red color. So basically what we're doing here is just cartographic work. We're playing around with different styling, different symbology. So this is the local government. This is the study area we're actually interested in. So the next thing we need to do is or before then, I think if I'm satisfied with this, I'll just lock the layer. So let me lock it. So remember to lock the layer and then the layer styling, so that it will not affect the changes when you change the preview. So I will now zoom to the local government. So here on the local government, I need to change the boundary now to no brush, and then I'll change the boundary color, change the width as well. I'm going to clear the selection. Then now I need to show the water bodies and then the roads. So these are some of the roads that cuts across the local government. I don't need this anymore. Even this, do I really need this? Local government, yes. I need it. Let me name the layer. So I'll just name it and then place the buffer there. So this is Bida. The styling for the roads, if I'm not satisfied with the styling of the roads, I can change it. But I think what I have now is okay. Let me change the symbology of let me change the line type to dash red dots, so that it will make it stand out a little bit. And then I can save, then go back to the map layout and then add the main map. So we are now adding the third map, which is the actual study area we're interested in. So add it here. Then as you can see, we now have the Bida local government here, but the map is a little bit busy and I will need to remove some things. So I think the label here, let me see what I have. Let me remove this, let me remove the road. And then this label, I think I need to increase the font size. So under label, under text, I will increase the font size from maybe 10 to 20. And let's see how the result will look like. So go back to the map layout, refresh. Yeah, I think we are getting better now. I think what else I need to do is to work on the scale. So this is 220,000. Let me change this to 00. No, let me change this one to 0. So 20,002 is still not okay for me. Let me change here to, instead of 20,000, let me change it to 15,000. 150,000, sorry. Yeah, I think this scale is okay for me. I can save. This is Bida LGA. Let me enable the roads and see what it would look like. Yeah, so these are some of the roads within Bida, but I think the roads are not looking good. So what I can do is to change the symbology. I think I can change the symbology a little bit. Let me see. Let me go back to the symbology. Go back and choose maybe this topo road. Yeah. And go back to the map layout. Then refresh. Yeah, I think this is a little bit better. I think the boundary of the local government too, I can increase it maybe to 1 point. Yes, 1.6. Then refresh the map layout. Yes, yeah. So this is a little bit better. So I can continue on and on until I get a very perfect map, but I'm not going to do that in this video because the video will just get unnecessarily long. So instead, I'm just going to focus on the major things. So this is the local government we are interested in. This is our study area. So what I can do next is I can use arrow. I can use shapes, either circle or rectangle, to highlight the study area. So what I can do is let me use circle. So maybe something like this. You can hold down the shift button to get a perfect shape, a perfect circle. So I'll just circle the study area. So map of Nigeria. On the map of Nigeria, the study area is Niger State. So I'm going to remove the fill. Yeah, under configure symbol. So you need to go to style, then configure symbol. Then under configure symbol, you can now use the kind of configure the symbol the way you want it. So I don't need it, I don't want brush. So instead of solid, I set it to no brush to remove the fill. Then the outline, yeah, the outline stroke, the stroke width, I can increase it to maybe 1 point something. Then what about the color too? I can change the color from black. I can change the color here. If I don't want it to be black, I can change it to maybe red. Maybe red. Okay, no, sorry. I think the color of the outline is changed. Can be changed somewhere here. Yeah, this is the stroke outline color. So if I don't want it to be black, I can make it red or green. Yeah, but I think the black was okay. So I'll just leave it on black. Just leave it on black. Yeah. So you can play around with this. You can enlarge, you can increase the size of the window so that you can see some of these diseases to play around with them. So let me shift it a little bit to the center. So this is it. Then I can copy it. Just Control C, then Control V to paste. So here I'm going to reduce this size. So I'll just move it to make sure that it's at the center of my area of interest or my study area. So I can now use arrows or line. Control line maybe from here to here. Maybe something like this. Where is the polyline? Shift it a little. Let me just delete it and draw another one. So polyline. I'm going to draw a polyline from here to here to show the location of the study area. Then like this. So I'm going to work on the symbol configuration. So the outline, you can change the outline a little bit, and then the color. The color, I'll make it a light gray. Yeah, I think that is okay. So from here too, I will now draw another polyline. Maybe something like this. Something like this from here to maybe here. And then I can now configure the symbol. So the stroke, I'll make it 1.3 as usual. Then the color, I'll make it a light gray color. So this is at least this is getting better, and we can add our scale. We can change the configuration of the scale. Tick up. Then we can add our not arrow or not direction. Center. Then we can add other map element. Then after we are done, we can now export it to PNG file. I'm going to export it here, and I will export it, set this resolution and other details. So when I'm done, I can open it, then copy it into the report I'm writing. So I'll right click and then go to copy. I'll just use Ctrl C, then go to my report. It's a MS Word, and then paste it. So I can now have the title written under it as the study area map. the study area or map of study area, map of study area, just like that. So that is how to go about it basically. And remember that we can enhance this map by doing further styling to it. But basically, this is how to go about preparing your study area map. And I hope you have learned something out of this. Thank you and hope to see you in another video. Bye bye.